It's shortly before sunrise in the Namib desert. But these men are ready to break camp. They're rangers with the Save the Rhino Trust. The men want to set off as early as possible because temperatures will soon climb to over 40 degrees Celsius. The group will be spending 3 weeks in the wilderness, far from villages, in one of Namibia's most forbidding terrains. The best way to patrol is on donkeys. The tracking teams are monitoring the last of Africa's black rhinos living in the wild and protecting them from poachers. About 150 of the animals roam the pristine desert landscape.
We often spend days on end in the heat looking for rhinoceros. Other animals like lions, leopards and elephants pose a danger to us, but we have to find out as much as we can about the rhinos, their numbers, their state of health and their behaviour. That's a prerequisite for protecting them.
The first success of the day. The men have discovered rhino tracks. The local rangers learned to track animals when they were children. Some of them used to be poachers themselves, driven to it by poverty. Now, as gamekeepers, they earn a regular wage.
I used to poach because we were hungry. It was about getting meat, not trading in rhino horns. But I really prefer feeding my family by protecting the animals.
They continue on foot for several kilometers, always following the trail of the rhinoceros. Off in the distance, mountain zebras. They've adapted to the harsh habitat in the Namib desert. Suddenly, Manetia Ganasib spies what they've been tracking for hours. After a fleeting moment, the black rhino trots away. The rangers follow it because they need photos in order to identify it precisely. But the rhino has caught wind of them and suddenly charges the team. Black rhinos are more aggressive than other members of their species. But this time, the rangers get off lightly.
We were a little too close, but we do have to register and record all the animals' specific physical features. Thanks to that information, we now have the most extensive rhinoceros databank in the world.
Enjoy your stay with us, enjoy your stay with us, enjoy your stay at the Rhino Camp.
Tourists from around the globe come to northwestern Namibia to observe the last of the wild rhinos. This desert camp combines business sense with nature protection because the safari operators support the work of the conservationists. Some of the rangers are paid from the profits, and other locals benefit as well.
We pay
The local population a fee for the right to use the area for tourism. We also create jobs for guides, waiters and other personnel. Tourism is basically the only economic prospect for the people here.
Rhino tracking is subject to strict rules. The rangers supervise and guide the tourists to make sure that the animals are undisturbed. Today's group is especially lucky. They get the chance to quietly observe a rhinoceros cow and her calves. It's a rare sight and evidence that the rhino population is growing again.
But we have to feel it
in the way how
The Save the Rhinoceros team members explain that now some animals have actually been resettled from the project area to other parts of the country. The tourists from neighboring South Africa are impressed. In their country, rhinoceros poaching is at an all-time high.
The way it's going at the moment, it's a downhill slide. From what I can gather, as well as we're almost at that watershed now where the growth rate has become negative. The rate of poaching has outstripped the rate of births in rhino, and so it's a major problem.
Animal protection advocates in Namibia are also alarmed. Only recently, a black rhino was killed in the middle of the project area with 16 gunshots. The poachers then sawed off its horn. Since then, the organization has increased its patrol flights. Showing a presence is part of the deterrence strategy. Fears are growing that after South Africa, rhino poaching syndicates will target Namibia.
The syndicates, they're very powerful. They've got a lot of financial backing, and they're also using people inside the countries, inside South Africa and other African countries, to do the dirty work for them. They're really powerful. The illegal trade in wildlife is more profitable at the moment than actually the trade in drugs, the illegal trade with drugs and so on.
Tourism is an important component in the struggle against poaching. Thanks to the regular income, most locals have understood that their rare wild animals are more valuable alive than dead. Defending that success against the rhino syndicates will be the Namibian animal protectionists' greatest challenge in the future.